Good morning. We're going to do some more drawing today. We're going to talk about some more of the processes that happen with neurons, and specifically we're going to look at neurotransmitters, and then we're going to look at your agonists and your antagonists. So a couple things we're going to start off with. I guess it might be easier to draw it this way. So at the top, we're going to draw a terminal button. Okay, we can go ahead and label it if you want. Okay, and then we're going to draw a part of the dendrite that would be right across the little synaptic gap, getting ready to receive the next message. So this one's gonna look kind of funky, and I'm not the best artist, so bear with. Okay, I know it looks kind of weird, but this is your dendrite of the receiving neuron. And then we want to make sure that we realize what this is in the middle. Remember, this is our synapse. Okay, and this is just kind of like a film of moisture that's just in between the two neurons. So this is the neuron that's sending the information, and then this is the neuron that's going to be receiving it. So in our terminal button, we have these little things called vessels, and they are going to hold our neurotransmitters, because we know that our neurotransmitters live in our terminal buttons. So I'm just going to draw little circles to represent our vessels. And I'm going to draw little triangles in them, and you'll know that the triangles are the neurotransmitters. So like I said, they live in the vessels. Okay, we can even label the circles in case you forget. And then we'll even put triangle equals neurotransmitter. Now, when the neuron fires and that electrical impulse gets sent down the axon, it reaches your terminal buttons, and that is what allows the neurotransmitters to be released into the receiving neuron. This is the chemical part, right? Because we know that our neurotransmitters are chemicals. And so they just get sent out into the synapse. They're just hanging out in there, floating around. Okay, and then they are now going to go into what's called our channels. So they'll get sent in here. And then any neurotransmitters that are left over, they are just going to get reabsorbed back by this terminal button. And that process is called reuptake. So left over neurotransmitters get recycled, basically. So like these little friends that didn't make it into the channel, they're going to get recycled back into the terminal button. Remember, just remember our neurotransmitters, these are chemicals. So let's chat about what happens when you take certain drugs or certain things get put into your system that affect the flow of the neurotransmitters. So let's draw a dendrite. Again, it's gonna look kind of funky. Sorry, I'm not very good at drawing. Let's do 1, 2, 3. Okay, so normally we would have something that would fit perfectly into this part of the dendrite, right? It would be like a puzzle piece that would fit perfectly in there, that would allow neurotransmitters to get through to the dendrite. But sometimes you have some things that act like neurotransmitters and they get through and they're not supposed to, or vice versa. We'd have like a normal neurotransmitter. Let's see, it would have three prongs like that to fit into the 3 openings. Let's just say this is ACH or acetylchlorine. If that goes into your dendrite, then that's good, remember, because that controls like muscle movement. So you'll be able to do all of your normal functions like walk around and all of that stuff, because that fits perfectly. We wouldn't see any issues there. However, let's say that you are hanging out in the desert and you get bit by a poisonous spider. So that venom is going to act as an antagonist, and you'll see that this only has like 1 prong, so it would fit into the middle of this dendrite, but it would block this channel and this channel, right? So the ACH that you actually need to move would not be allowed to get through because of this antagonist, and so you're paralyzed in the desert from the spider bite. Because this is going to block the function of the neurotransmitter, right? So blocks Okay, now say that wears off, that venom wears off, or someone saves you and you're good to go, and then you get bit by a poisonous snake. This is a very unfortunate day for you. That is going to be an agonist because it's going to look like it fits because it has 2 prongs. But it's actually not, and this is going to increase neurotransmitters to be to go across that synaptic gap and to just keep getting produced. Nothing is stopping it. No reuptake is happening, so you're getting way more of your neurotransmitter of ACH than you need. And if that is muscle movement and you're getting way more than you need, what do you think is going to happen? Well, you're going to like start convulsing or like start seizing because you have no control over your muscle movement. So we know that an agonist increases the functioning of a neurotransmitter. So make sure we just know the difference. So any neurotransmitter that is supposed to be across that synaptic gap, that's going to go in, it's going to fit perfectly. The process is going to be natural in the fact that some of it's going to go into the dendrite and then some of it's going to get reabsorbed back into that sending neuron. However, when you have an antagonist, that's going to block the functioning neuron of the ACH to go through. So you're not going to, in this case, you're not going to have anything that inhibits your or allows for your muscle movement. So you're not going to be moving. And then an agonist, that's going to increase the functioning neurotransmitter. So that would fit over the dendrite, and that would allow way too much of that neurotransmitter to go through. That prevents reuptake from happening, so you're getting way more than you need. So then if you're looking at the neurotransmitter for muscle movement and it's increasing, then you're going to have no control of your muscles and probably like start seizing. So that's my best way to kind of visualize those things. And so make sure that you know all of this, and ask me if you have any questions.